Hey everybody, how's it going? Thanks for joining us here on Emerald City Hockey's Postgame Live, presented by Queen Anne Beer Hall. Got to imagine it would be a nice night to go to Queen Anne Beer Hall, get to watch them take on the Maple Leafs. You know, there's always that like token one or two Maple Leafs fans in every sports
Always.
bar whenever Toronto's playing. So you get to maybe have some fun with that as the Kraken beat up on them, and then probably also get a little bit of a double feature going with the Canadian gold medal game over at the World Juniors too. So got to imagine it was a good night out for something like this. But we are here, RJ, to talk about the Seattle Kraken picking up their third win in a row, staying undefeated in 2023, as Joey's pointing out over here in the comments, and getting another win over a good team. Like, this is a good Maple Leafs team.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the Leafs have been pretty consistently good this season. I mean, and we saw how difficult it was for the Kraken to try and cope with their speed earlier on in the game. And this is one of those tough tests where sometimes you have to weather a storm. It can't all be pretty from start to finish in a game like this against a good team. And I think it was a really gutsy effort just to stick with it, to weather that push by the Leafs in the first period and then put on a push of their own.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about getting only 3 shots on goal in the first period for the Seattle Kraken, getting outshot there, but then being able to come on in that second period again. I mean, it does feel like we're back to early season Seattle Kraken here, where it's, okay, first period might be a little bit rough, but as long as we hang in there, we're going to make adjustments going into the second period and then even into the third period later on. And we're going to pick up steam. We're going to be able to dissect what the other team's doing, find ways of attacking it. And then, in something like this, just pick apart Matt Murray because he just doesn't wear a glove, I guess.
I know he's a long ways from when we saw him lift the Stanley Cup together in 2016 in San Jose. Yeah, I mean, just the glove hand didn't look like it was there for Matt Murray, and he just kind of looked a little bit off tonight. But that's what you want to do when the opposing goalie is looking off, is you want to throw lots of pucks to the net. You want to be opportunistic, and I think the Kraken didn't do that very much in the first, as Edzo, of course, will always be the first one to point out when they can shoot a little bit more. But in the second period, they made right on it.
Yeah, and then just getting all sorts of different shots, whether it's you get that beautiful moving screen by Oliver Bjorkstrand on that Vince Dunn goal, whether it's the fantastic one-time shot that Tolvanen has, to be able to bury a power play goal to really kick things off for the Kraken tonight. I mean, just everybody getting in on it, and then once the dam broke, the dam broke, and
Yep.
Kraken all-star Matty Benier is able to get another goal, make that 2 in a row for him. Really enjoying his start to the 2023 year. Really happy about that one. Looking over here to the comments section, Joshua, another great win. Love how the Kraken have been playing these last few games. Absolutely. I mean, they are absolutely killing it right now. Really, really happy about this. Like I said, get up to a 3-game win streak. That is something the Kraken really needed coming out of the end of December there.
Yeah, definitely. And how needed it was, having lost 8 of their last 10, and just getting that Islanders win at home too, to set the tone for this road trip. I think, that's so big looking back at it.
Yeah. All right. I'm enjoying these from Mo Maggot here with the super chat. Woo. Kraken win 5.5 total goals parlay plus 500. Tolman, it looks to be a great fit. loving the updates. Thanks so much for the super chat. Yeah, had another good night. Good happy for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Tolvanen, it has been such a great fit, though. I mean,
Yes.
since that first game, he's playing the right way. 200-foot game, and then that shot, what it brings to the power play, it's just so dangerous.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see if he might move up on the power play as well, maybe off of that second unit onto the first unit, if this is going to become a fairly regular thing for him. All right, another super chat here from Schulze. Great win. Really have to love the way the whole organization has been built. Kraken looking good. Coachella Valley second overall in the AHL. Hats off to Ron and crew. It is true. I mean, Ron had a plan. The 3 to 5 year plan. He talked about how he wanted to do this all the right way, build it through the draft, build it, organization bottom up, and they are. And yes, I mean, we haven't talked enough, I feel like, about the Firebirds, but they are crushing it this year.
Yeah, it's been one of the biggest stories. It may not, maybe the biggest story in the AHL, what the Firebirds have been able to do, and given all the uncertainty, all the moving, everything that they've had to deal with this season, but they've just been winning from the start and up until now.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you both for the super chats there. Popping back up in the chat. Well, never mind. We got another super
And
chat.
here we got CR Bud.
Yeah, CR Bud, who enjoyed the hook shot puck clear at the end by Tanev.
That was pretty cool. He was feeling it tonight. His dad was in attendance, right?
Yes. Dad in attendance. Got to hear some stories about that. Apparently, Dad, big fan of Edzo, as
Oh,
everybody is.
yes.
Right?
Of course.
But absolutely love that stuff. And yeah, I mean, really, Tanev has been playing so well the last probably 2 weeks. If I had to put like a calendar time frame on it, I mean, just the energy he's brought. Like this is the first time where it's felt like what, he's really back from that injury and he's feeling everything. Everything's firing on all cylinders, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it's great to see because for a while this season he hasn't quite looked like himself, but when he can be, I mean, that bottom six is just even more lethal.
Yeah, I mean he's so good at just creating pressure, right? And sometimes they're offensive chances, but we've seen he's not the greatest finisher in the world, but he creates pressure. He disrupts what the other team's trying to do. Doesn't let them kind of ever feel like they're safe. When he's on the ice, at any moment he'll just come out on a breakaway. Seems like it's super awesome. Emmy, 2 W's tonight: Kraken and the World Junior Gold Medal for Shaner. That is right. Shane Wright picking up, I believe it was his first 5-on-5 goal of the tournament for Team Canada in this one, as they won literally just moments ago in overtime over Czechia to take gold. So yes, congrats to Shane Wright on his birthday.
Yes, I mean, what a way to spend your 19th birthday, winning the gold medal in the World Juniors. Yeah, I was glued to the end of that game with the Kraken game pretty much having been decided. Just waiting to see how it would end.
Me
Man,
too.
a 20-minute 3-on-3 period. That's just crazy. So much drama, but Canada gets it done. And Shane Wright with a big goal in that one. Anytime it's an overtime game, if you have scored a goal, and especially a highlight reel goal like that one, you've made a big difference for your team.
I was gonna say 20-minute 3-on-3 overtime period is the way all big things should be decided. That is fun stuff. Let's go NHL. Just make playoff overtime that. Let's go. Nobody wants to stay up for 5 overtimes watching a TNT broadcast. I'm sorry, we just don't. Uh, Blake, 2 points since I got my Burakovsky jersey for Christmas. Let's keep him coming. Yes, I mean he's slowly but surely starting to get going here. Everybody else is starting to get going. The Kraken offense is really awakening. I mean, the fact that we're getting Alexander Wenberg goals here, RJ, means that the Kraken are really, really waking up offensively.
Totally. Although I'm glad you mentioned that Wenberg play. If you look at the replay, especially the one from behind the net, I am not convinced that he was actually trying to shoot that puck. I
Of
think
course not.
he was trying to pass it back to Yanni Gordon.
Yes.
If you look at the trajectory of that puck coming off of his stick, if that doesn't hit Murray, it goes at least 5 feet wide.
Yeah.
I think he's still trying to pass that puck. Of course, being Wenberg as he is, but good for him. It hits Murray and goes in.
I was going to say that was just the kind of night Matt Murray was having. Somebody could try to make a pass net front and he was going to somehow turn that into a goal. All right, here we got super chat here from Sergeant Pickles. Good to see you, Sergeant Pickles. Digging the new avatar there for you.
Nice with the UW.
Yep. Hello again, dear friends. I am back from my New Year's exile, and what a game to come back to. Hope you all had a great holiday. Amazing W tonight. It was a fantastic game, Sergeant Pickles. Glad to have you back. Hopefully everything went well for you. We both had good holidays. Thanks for the good wishes there. All right, so let's see. Derek, Maddie, All-Star. Like, yeah, I mean, I knew we were going to talk about that at some point, but he was kind of our pick for the All-Star from this team. He's just, top 3 in basically every offensive category, whether it's for rookies or for Seattle Kraken. And I'm just really happy that he gets to go and show off his stuff and hopefully win over some Calder Trophy voters' minds and hearts.
Yeah, because that's kind of the last thing that he really needs to do is just be in a high exposure type situation. I was speaking, of course, me talking about high exposure situations.
Yes,
but yeah, where just more people in the league can get their eyes on him. Because I think we've experienced this, right, Dylan, when we've had people come in, from opposing teams, in the press box, where we've talked to people, whether it's you in LA or Anaheim, and they see Matty Beniers for the first time, and they're like, wow. He really is that good. And I still think there's more people who just need to see him to realize that.
Right, exactly. And that's why I'm really happy that he's doing this kind of on the road in some big Canadian markets, right? Pick up a goal and assist in Edmonton, pick up a goal tonight in Toronto. I mean, that these are places where you're going to get a lot of exposure to a lot of, big reporters, and they're going to take notice of those things. So I'm really happy that he's doing what he's been able to do right now with that. And then also just in general, I think at the All-Star game, I mean, he's just such he's exactly who these awards voters want. He's such a humble but present, I'm going to answer your questions, but I'm going to make it just this great experience for both of us kind of guy. Like, they eat that stuff up. They just do. Um,
Totally.
so happy for him. Cody, what is shellacking? That's what playoff style hockey looks like. I sure hope so. That continues all the way to the playoffs for the Kraken. But it is. I mean, this is them getting back to to form, so to speak, right? Weather the storm, as you said in the first period, and then just start, making plays, making things happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that's, that they've been in some like kind of close games too, where they've had to, play that playoff style hockey, like the speed the Leafs were coming with in the first period tonight. I mean,
Yep.
that's what you're going to face, to start off a playoff game.
Yeah, and the Kraken, to their credit, I mean, it wasn't pretty. It really wasn't pretty, but they did what they needed to do just to kind of get through it. And that there is something to be said for that, particularly in the playoffs. You might run into situations like that. I mean, I think about that Toronto um Tampa series last year, and whether it was whichever team was going to win that night, that was very much kind of how that series played out. Like, if you could just kind of, if you were the team on the back foot to start a game, if you could survive, you'd find a way later on to make it happen for you. So there is good examples of that, including with this Maple Leafs team for playoff runs. But I just look at things, Kraken, because we got B. Woolley here. Tolvanen proven to be a fantastic addition to the squad, lighting that offensive spark today, given the power play some edge of late. And yeah, I mean, power play tonight, 1 for 2, getting better. I mean, this is what, 3 games in a row, not just with the wins, but with power play goals. Coincidence? I don't know. 3 games starts to become a trend at that point. And even the PK tonight looking really good, holding Toronto to 1 for 5.
Yeah, and they really had to step up. There were some pivotal moments in the game where they had to kill off big penalties.
Yeah.
That one at the end of the first period, where if the Leafs get one there, it's a different looking game. The Kraken then have not weathered the storm at that point. The 4 minute double minor with Gord, they do allow one there, but to withstand the first penalty, so you're not letting the Leafs double up there, and just a few more key kills. Finally, the Kraken special teams are making a positive difference. It feels like a long time since we've seen that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have we even seen it this year? Like, I mean, well, certainly not this year we've seen it, but this season, um,
Right.
it's been that way. And yeah, you talk about the one goal allowed. I thought Martin Jones had a really, really strong game in this one. I mean, he made all the saves he had to make, and that one goal, I mean, nobody's gonna stop that goal. But Martin Jones really, really good tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's been this long, 13 minutes in, and we haven't mentioned really Martin Jones yet, because he had a fantastic game. I mean, it can be easy to fall into that kind of recency bias thing where you look at the Kraken, up big and the game's kind of out of hand. But in that first period, Jones had to turn away a lot of high quality
Mhm.
shots, and if he lets even one of those in, it's a very different game. Martin Jones just solid, calm all around. Dave Haxtell talked about it this morning, about just liking the consistency and liking the calmness with him. And of course, liking the W's.
Yes, they gotta like those. I mean, do you think he sticks with him?
I think so. I mean, the only worry is if you're worried about him being burnt out. And Haxtell has said, he said this going into the road trip, like, look, given what this schedule is, playing every other day plus, you're going
Mhm.
to need both goalies. And that's
Yeah.
just the reality of it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be totally surprised to see Grubauer in there just because of the rest management, the load management. But that's hard for me to tell. You have to kind of see where Jones is at there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see him get the Ottawa game just to try to keep things rolling, but then maybe you see Grubauer start Montreal on Monday,
Yeah,
kind
that
of
might
thing.
be a good way to go.
Yeah. Joey, refs with horrible no call on Matthews' high stick to the face. I'm trying to remember that one.
Yeah, they did miss that one. It was I think he hit, was it Alexiak that he got? Yeah, he kind of clipped it. It was similar to the Yanni Gord play. But yeah, the official just didn't see it. He was kind of
Just
right
did
in the area, but just missed it.
Yeah. And then Kyle, when juiced up Tanev went halfway up the glass trying to put a hit on someone, I knew we were going to be all right. Absolutely, Kyle. That
That
is
was
one of
something to
those
see.
signs. Derek, Gio had some frustration during that takedown in the second that sent him to the box. First off, it was good to see Gio again. Looks good. Everything seems good. He's doing what he needs to be kind of I was going to say a calm presence on that blue line, but he was pretty fiery tonight a couple times.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. I mean, I liked I think it was the early third where he looked like he was trying to give Wenberg a hug, but just didn't give full, get full contact. Just try to hug his former teammate. I think he missed him.
Yeah, just a little bit there. Also with the Burakovsky situation a little bit later on too. Yeah, it was interesting. He's just upset that he's no longer, his claim to fame isn't there anymore, and that was being the only, being the first Kraken captain. And he knows that those days are numbered. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, watching Matty Beniers on the other side. What other impression can you get?
Well, yeah. Whenever you watch a 20-year-old kid who can grow a beard over the course of a game, outshine you in that regard, that's when you know, like, oh, we're in for something. Hard to pick what to watch between this and the juniors from Coop there. It was difficult. I mean, I did the whole like laptop on the ottoman with the game on the TV. I had the Canada World Junior game on the laptop, kind of trying to do the double screen effect there. But I'm happy that now that the tournament's over, I can just focus on the Kraken games because it was difficult at times.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, speaking of that, I'm trying to clip Shane lifting the trophy over his head right now. It
All
just
right.
happened. Hold it down for a sec.
Go for it. Tom, watching McCann score on his former team is so satisfying. Yes. Noted Maple Leaf, Jared McCann. It was a nice goal from him too. I was happy to kind of see him get one of those again where he could just kind of finish with authority, like just come in, snipe that one high, bar down, just be like, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm back. It was a really nice goal and really nice moment to see from Jared McCann there.
So
really
much swagger in
that
goal.
So much of the celebration, the scream at the fans there. It was fantastic. Cody, can't wait for Dangle's reaction to this one. I hadn't even thought of that yet, but you're right. I mean, everybody, you get a double feature. You get to experience post-game dance party with us now, and then we can all go get Dangle's reaction after together. Should be a pretty fun time.
Yeah, I don't usually watch the, any LFRs at all anymore, but I think I'll take a look at this one.
Yeah, I think so. Derek with the Jones is solid. Absolutely, he was so solid in this one. And yeah, the only worry at this point is just the burnout again, because we did see him trail off last time when he was getting that kind of consistent workload. Some more love for Shane Wright there. The right goal was sick from Coop. It was an awesome goal. Really, really happy for him. Let's see, Joey, happy for Shane, but would be happier if USA won the gold. I predicted this on the Discord, Joey, that I think next year is this Team USA's year. Like this group, they're going to have a lot of guys returning next year. Just their system, the speed that they can play the game, they're going to give everybody fits. I predict next year Team USA is going to be the team to beat. You're going to have this Czechia team's going to lose a lot of guys to aging out. Canada's losing guys to either aging out and or they're just going to go to the NHL. Like, we'll see who they can find to replace Bedard next year. Probably not going to find any one person to replace that level of production. I think next year is Team USA's. I did have a feeling yesterday, though, RJ, where it was during that Canada-US game. I felt like it was a rock, paper, scissors style thing where I feel like USA can definitively beat Czechia in a lot of situations. I feel like Czechia can beat Canada in a lot of situations, but Canada can beat USA in a lot of situations. Like, I really felt like that's how those teams all match up with each other.
Yeah, I think you're right about that too. And yeah, it's like a rock, paper, scissors dynamic. I think you hit the nail on the head there. Just interesting how this team worked out. But I love the parity too, how it's so close. A lot of years, one team kind of, can run away with it. It was clearly the best. I think you had three teams that were all in the running there.
Yep. Thanks for joining us, Tammy. Hope you have a safe drive home as you're listening. Daniel, one hell of a first period from Martin Jones. Absolutely. I mean, that was big stuff there. CR Bud, they made Matthews and Marner disappear tonight. I mean, they did. Like I was expecting a little bit more from this team. I mean, yes, they both pick up assists on that power play goal, but again, they had 5 power play chances. You could argue the fact that they only got one is
Right.
disappointing for them. But I felt like the Kraken did a really good job on handling them and really handling everybody from this Leafs team.
Yeah, and you look at most of this game, 5-on-5, they were not able to get to the middle. They kind of
Mhm.
cycle around the outside as they like to do a lot, like Edmonton likes to do. But they just couldn't get to the middle, and I expected to see them as more difference makers in this one. But I mean, that's good defensive structure from the Kraken.
Yeah, and now I'm gonna bring this up, RJ, and for longtime listeners, this might not be surprising, but I'm not a fan of Keefe, their coach. Right, I've
Oh
made
yeah.
it known I don't necessarily think he's the best coach out there. I didn't think he had a particularly well coached game from them because yes, you know you dominate that first period, but a lot of it's still you were getting shots, but it never felt like you were truly dominating. There weren't like a ton of like grade A awesome scoring chances. And then when things start to go south for them in the second period, I don't know. I thought a timeout, a change of goalie. I mean, you're not playing tomorrow. Like I felt like something should have happened there from the coaching staff, and instead they just let it go. They just let all their energy get sucked away into the ether.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I like a goalie change early or something. It was kind of evident early on that
Like after that
Murray didn't have
McCann
his
one,
game.
yeah, after that McCann one, I turned to Afra and I was like, they need to change goalies. Like Murray does not have it tonight.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that good coaching staffs tend to recognize. I mean, we applauded Daryl Sutter for that back in the Calgary game, calling the timeout early and doing what he needed to do. But yeah, nothing from Keefe in this one.
Yeah. So I just had to throw that in there. It just feels like I'm contractually obligated in case there's any Toronto fans in here.
Oh
Um,
yes.
yeah. Light 5 goals against the team. We traded number 5 to poetic, don't you think?
Yep. Yep. Very good. Yeah. I mean,
It's just a
we
shame we
talked
couldn't
about
get
Gio in this one.
55 tonight.
I was gonna say he's 55 now, but yeah, probably aren't gonna put up 55 in one game.
And poor Gio, -3 tonight too. Like it was a rough night for him.
It was. Yeah, I mean, there's no sugarcoating it. It was.
Yep. Nathan, what a massive win. Completely flipped the ice in the second period. Jones 1A confirmed. I
I
mean,
mean, if the fact that he started tonight, I think you had a possibility where you could have put Grubauer in if you were trying to set that rhythm. But we know this. Dave Haxtell is going to play the hot hand, and I'm glad that he's doing that.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely something we're both in favor of. This is the first home loss for the Leafs since November 11th. So yes,
Wow.
that's a long time ago, and B, it just makes me that much more excited to watch Dangle later on.
I know. I know. We got to watch that LFR.
It's really surprising because, like I said, it felt like the Leafs were a really low energy team after that first period. So I am curious to kind of hear a little more about that. From AL or Al here, Larson, great defense tonight. I know I wore this tonight. Kind of to respect the end of the point streak. That's why I went ahead and have an undershirt on. Couldn't go
Yeah.
full out, right? But we did get the end of the point streak tonight. However, it was not for trying, as he lived up to this number, RJ. Other side. It's weird for me. This number 6 in a couple ways. Care to guess how, RJ?
Let's see. Well, the point streak was 7 games.
Yeah.
6 hits.
Yeah, that is one of the ways in which he did it, with 6 hits.
6 block shots.
No, 6 shots on goal, which actually
Wow.
led the Seattle Kraken. No, it doubled up Vince Dunn, who was next on the team with 3. Nobody else had more than 2. Adam Larson, I mean, he wanted the point streak to continue, and he was probably a little disappointed that they scored so many late there. It didn't give him an empty net chance.
I know. Yeah, it's
Got to go into the
maybe,
locker room mad at everybody for that.
but yeah, he won it. That's a great stat with the 6 shots on goal. I feel bad Dunner with 3 got rewarded with 3 points.
I know.
Larson just needs to pass it to Tolvanen, but he would need power play time for that, I guess.
Hey, I've been calling for it.
I know you have.
And then yes, to the commenters, comment there. He was fantastic on defense tonight. Edzo giving him the shout out for that one instance with the Maple Leaf behind the goal there and how he handled that situation. It was good. Joshua, another first time win against an opponent. We're going to need RJ to fire up his Excel spreadsheets to see what teams still remain for the Kraken to beat for the first time.
Oh yeah, I've got that somewhere. We'll see if I can pull that up in time. I know the Canucks are the only Western Conference team left. And then there's, I think, only 2 Eastern Conference teams. I know.
It's freaking Canucks, man.
Yep.
It's so brutal. Wow. All right. Tom, dang, I love Shane Wright. So happy he's a Kraken. So pumped for him tonight for sure. It's just a fantastic night for him all the way around. Brian, I believe the Leafs outshot the Kraken 11-2 in the first. Kraken outshot the Leafs 24-16 the rest of the way. Thoroughly outworked them everywhere. The NHL's got it now, post game anyway, at 9-3. But I do feel like at the end of the first period, the Root broadcast had a different shots on goal number. So I've got.
Yeah, they kept saying 2, Brian. And then it was changed to 3 about in the middle of it when Nikolchuk was talking about it.
Yeah, and I felt like they were double digits. They had double digits for the Leafs as well. So whatever it was, the Leafs were in charge there, but the Kraken did a fantastic job the rest of the way. Dalek, I'm so glad Shane Wright is a Kraken. Canadians do not deserve him. The amount of slander thrown at him during this tournament was ridiculous. There was a lot, definitely unjustified. It had me in some ways almost rooting against Canada just because of it. Got to take down that Canadian hockey hubris,
That's a interesting way to look at it, but yeah, at least that goal should shut everyone up.
Yeah, they don't deserve our boy, so I can root against them. That's my justification, the internal justification there. I loved how confident McCann was on that finish, just automatic from Coop. Absolutely. Hunter with we're on a win streak. Medeiros, I like when they win, and I still have time to do other things afterwards. I'm telling you, I mean, the 7:00 games, they're just now getting underway, RJ. Like, I do kind of like this. Like, I could get used to this.
I know this is kind of nice. The night's not over right after this. I actually have a hockey game at KCI after this, so I'll go be playing on the Starbucks rink for the Kraken practice. So
there we go. Christopher asking the important question, and I knew this was going to come up. Who are we stuffing the ballot box for? McCann, Eberle?
That's true. We have to unite our efforts, because if it's split between McCann, Ebbs, Burakovsky, all that, none of them are going to get in. Let's see. How many did they already name? Adam Larson. Dylan. I'm with you.
Well, I was going to say
Appeal though.
Mass Appeal. Come on, he's got a beautiful ginger beard. It doesn't get any more Mass Appeal. Those bobbleheads were flying off the shelves. Mass Appeal.
Okay.
No, I don't. Who else was named from the Pacific Division? Like, do they need a goaltender? Do they need defensemen, or is this like they left 3 spots open for?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. We got to be strategic here. So they picked. It was like, wow, mostly for the Metro was only forwards and 1 goalie, but the Pacific was 6 forwards, 1 defenseman, and a goalie. So maybe you're onto something with Adam Larson, because they've only got 1 defenseman so far, and that's Erik Karlsson, who obviously was a lock.
Yes.
And then Logan Thompson being the 1 goalie. So I don't think it's worth it to go for a forward. Maybe you go Adam Larson, although would he really enjoy that though?
He can turn it down, and then they can send somebody else who will enjoy it more. But
I mean, Adam, I really don't care about points Larson going to an all-star game where no defense is played. I mean, he'd change that, but I don't know, maybe Martin Jones.
How important is it? This is part of the problem, because do we care about the actual game aspect so much as the skills competition? Not really. So for the Pacific to do well in the skills competition stuff, I think we should be sending Alexander Wenberg, because all the passing drills he'll just nail, knock them all out, go 4 for 4, 6 for 6, whatever they are, and bring home that dub for the West Coast.
Fair enough. We got some input here. Brian, you got to vote Father Canner. Rebecca, All-Star got to be our eternal leading goal scorer, Canner. I mean, I can get behind that.
I was going to say it's going to be McCann. I know. I was just trying to throw some other names out there.
Yep. And then and Laura in the chat here, I just kind of want to point that out. Al says Tariq Woolen just retweeted you, so that's cool.
Oh wow, yeah, that's awesome. All right, Daniel. Last year, I got the impression from Leafs fans that they think they're the Yankees of the NHL. Oh yeah, there's no secret there. Even though they do nothing in the postseason, so great to take them down in their building. It's one of the best feelings you can have in the NHL in the regular season, Daniel. Let me tell you. Certainly when the Leafs are good. It was one thing back when the Leafs were bad. It was just like fun still, but this is even better. Let's see. Jones's play this season has been a complete surprise. Tolvanen looking like a genius pickup. I'm telling you, Ron Francis being 3 for 3 on those kind of like waiver wire, like just getting thrown away guys with Donato, Spronger, and him. Whether it's waivers, trades, just getting somebody in the offseason. That's remarkable, RJ.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ron Francis is just kind of put on a clinic with these depth sightings, these depth acquisitions off of waivers. He doesn't get enough recognition too. I feel like league wide, not as many people are talking about Ron Francis and how he's built this team as they should be.
I mean, I was gonna say, let's say, and I can do whatever qualifiers we want as I'm knocking on my wood desk here or whatever. Should the Kraken maintain a postseason spot? Do you think he gets some GM of the year love?
Oh, for sure. I would think so. I mean,
I think so
he
too.
better
Yeah.
if they make the playoffs, going from the third worst team in the NHL to a playoff team. I think any GM with that to his record should get serious consideration.
Especially given the contributions from guys like Sprong and having Matty Beniers come in and probably lead rookies in scoring and all that kind of stuff. Like I would think all of that would play in big for them. Let's see, Joey. Lightning, Flyers, Blue Jackets, Bruins. We still have to beat. So we're going to have a chance at least one of those teams here in the next week or so.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ty, pretty happy with 40 minutes of that. An absolute clinic by Jones to keep them off the board in the first. Wow. Some great moments with former players tonight, too. Lars and Yarny were great. Absolutely. Let's see. Brendan, hello. Emerald City Hockey in chat. How are we doing this evening? We are having a good time. Definitely
pretty
having a
darn good
time
tonight.
All right, so now we've come to Sergeant Pickles, studs and duds. Been missing these Sergeant Pickles. For studs, I'm gonna read the studs first. Beniers, an all-star to go with his Calder. Big Cat better be going with him. See, there we go. He's ahead of the game.
All right.
And insert Willy Wonka smiling meme here as I read Leafs post-game excuses.
Oh, that's good.
That is good. I was thinking about that meme the other day. It's kind of disappeared. It's ready for a comeback, I think.
I think so.
We're on the same page there, Sergeant Pickles. Duds, still hurts seeing Gio and Boy on another team. It does. First period was hockey version of water torture. Jonesy deserved a shutout for those clutch saves. Yeah, I mean, he did. He did everything he could. Like I said, just one situation, no goal he's gonna have a shot in. But yeah,
the drip of those scoring chances. I mean, definitely got to have you on the edge of your seat.
I was gonna say, do you think that was part of Matt Murray's problem in this game? Was just he didn't see any shots the first period?
I mean, it doesn't help for certain goalies. They want to feel the puck.
Yeah. Andrew, holy smokes, we just beat the Leafs hands down. Let's go. Absolutely. Kraken win. Shane gets gold medal. What a night from Shoeshine for sure. Jones was awesome again with the 963 save percentage. That is a sparkling one. Is that going to pull him up above 900 for the season, RJ?
Definitely not. But
okay.
Sorry, I have been looking at this recently, but no, it won't. But still very good.
All right, I could dream. Hunter, roses are red, violets are blue. Right wins gold. Maddie's an all-star too. Didn't rhyme, but whatever. It's the thought that counts, right? When it comes to this kind of stuff, it's the thought that counts, and those are still great things to be reminded of. No matter how many times I read it in chat, it still puts a smile on my face. Mobag asking, were you surprised Leafs didn't pull their goalie? I obviously was, because I already said that I really thought they should. And that's what I was telling my constituency here.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's what I thought as well. And you'd think, again, I don't know how Keefe is with this, but you'd think, more of the analytics based organization, pulling your goalie early type of thing. But I guess not.
Yeah. Let's see. Coach Stewart, great team win. How about our overall road record? It's like gross. I love it, but it's like, it's crazy. It's awesome. Let's see. Between Chris's comment last week about their dad yelling at him and Brandon after practice if they didn't do well, and Forsland comments tonight, it sounds like Papa Tanev is a bit of a hard, you know what.
Yeah, I
Hey,
was thinking about those comments that the Forsland made during the broadcast.
I was gonna say, you know, he could be, as long as it's not like too bad stuff, right? Like there's obviously a limit, but you know, got two boys in the NHL. There was results there, I guess. You could say that. I like the awkward stare down between Burakovsky and Giordano. I like that one too. And at first I was like, oh wow, Gio going back at the Kraken. And then I realized, oh, Burakovsky wasn't here last year.
Nope.
So
Yeah, not
that
former
could be
teammates.
that could be part of it there. Yeah. Joey pointing out that yes, on the road we are now 11-4-2. I mean, that
What a record.
is crazy, crazy good. Let's see. CR Bud when he's patented hashtag goal pass.
I love it. I love it. He's just got to keep coming up with more creative ways to score goals without shooting the puck. That one that rolled in off his back. This one was setting it back. He's got all kinds of ways.
Yep. As long as he doesn't have to take a shot, that's all he cares about.
Yep.
Kraken Hawk, Shane has been doing well at juniors. He had a fantastic goal in the championship game today. He needed a confidence boost and seems locked in. Do you think he'll continue this play when he returns? First off, it'll depend on if he returns.
Right. Because given the Kraken's depth right now, and again, they showed it this game, who do you take out of the lineup? It's such a difficult challenge. And I would not blame Ron Francis if he just realizes that as good as Shane Wright was in the World Juniors and the AHL and everywhere, there is no room for any other kind of depth forward on this team, and feels like he might do better in juniors. So I think that is still a big question right now.
It is. I liked, Morgan Geeky getting work back in the lineup tonight. Get some PK time. I think that helped the PK. But yeah, I mean, looking at it, to bring him back in, let's say he does the whole third line center thing with Yanni Gord on his wing. I mean, you are talking about taking a Tolvanen, a Geeky, or a Sprong out of the lineup we saw tonight.
Yeah, and it already feels like Geeky and Donato are sharing a spot.
Yeah,
to go like third time with them. Yeah, I don't know.
It would be a lot to do. That being said, I felt like Shane Wright was just starting to feel it at the NHL level too. I mean, he is coming off of such a confidence boost here. I mean, maybe things come down to what sort of OHL packages there are for Kingston to potentially trade him, and then Ron Francis in dealings with that. I forget when he was supposed to meet kind of with the Brain Trust down there.
I think it was
Wednesday or something, maybe?
It was something like that. Yeah, where there was a meeting with him and the agent and everything. Obviously, we're not going to know what they decide until, a little bit later. But yeah, they've had that meeting.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I do think if Shane comes back, then they're going to be committed to getting him in the lineup. I don't think they're going to just kind of have him be around the way he was earlier in the year. But I think the way the team is playing, that depth that you have, I mean, you have the forward depth, because even you've still got like a Cole Lind down at the AHL level who's just crushing it down there that you could bring up if you absolutely ran into a string of injuries. I don't know that there's the spot for him at the NHL level this season. Yeah. Let's see. Ty, how do we save Shane to have the same rookie run we're seeing with Maddie now? It's 25 games, right? Shaner for Calder race would be epic. Agreed. I mean, if you wait until next season with Shane, you can have him come in and basically do all this over again that you've been doing with Maddie. And it would be a lot of fun to have that back-to-back seasons, just kind of keep that momentum growing, seeing the future of the franchise like that.
Yeah, to have serious Calder watch 2 years in a row would be something really fun for the fans and fun for the players, and just that injection of youth. And it's good for a team. It really is. And just to have that confidence too, because that Shane's going to be chomping at the bit start of next season if he's playing in juniors. Like, let's go. Let's get it done at the NHL level.
Yep. CR Bud, really active sticks tonight too. Seemed like a lot of blocks. Yeah, Kraken had 12 block shots tonight. Alexander Wenberg tied with the team lead. I just decided to throw that in there because, it's easy. I guess how many shots he had compared to block shots.
I bet they gave him a shot on his goal.
I think they had to, yes.
Let's go with 2.
It was 2. Yes, he had the same
Okay.
amount of block shots as he had shots on goal. Well, shots on goal. But actually, the top number for him tonight was takeaways with 3. So, but that does speak to the
This is one of the better Wenberg games I think we've seen in a little while.
It was, and I will say almost every Kraken forward tonight has a takeaway, which speaks to CR Bud's active sticks comment, because the forwards tonight were really feeling it in that regard. That is unusual to see as I look at this box score here. Let's see. Sean, 5-1 road win against one of the original 6. Love Maddie's goal and Selly with the sword scabbard finish. Kraken's so deep. He's been liking going to that. Like, that's kind of becoming his signature thing.
I like it though. It's a nice like
Yeah.
swagger type move. He pulls it off well.
Yeah, he does. And then, we need to get like a promotional video of him doing that with the hat.
Yes. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Come on, Jerry Bruckheimer, like, make this happen. You've got the ability to do something really great there. Super happy Seattle's on a 3-game win streak after their rock bottom loss to Oilers. Love it. Also gonna love to watch Steve Dangle's LFR and watch him put some respect on the Kraken name. Finally, that's from Andy. Has Dangle not been respecting the Kraken?
I don't know. I haven't been following.
I haven't either. It wouldn't surprise me if he's not, given how everything went last year. But yeah. Some more stuff down here about Martin Jones, including this one from AL or Al. Jones was a great pickup by Ron Francis. So yes, as we were talking about Ron Francis earlier with those kind of depth forward pickups and then obviously the drafting of Shane and Maddie, another thing that could be useful for him for like a GM of a year award would be Martin Jones coming in and certainly if he kind of stays what seems like the 1A.
Yeah, definitely. And to pick up a goalie who I think Jones is very soon going to surpass his win total from each of the last 3 seasons this early into this year. But to get that kind of bounce back from the goaltending room and in a way that wasn't really expected, because your kind of the original plan was just to have Chris Drieger come right back, and then to have to deal with that in the summer and have that curveball thrown at you, speaks volumes as to what he can do as a GM.
Absolutely. Edward, finally home, got my dinner heated up, time to enjoy some ECH post-game live vibes. I know that is the one negative for these early East Coast games is, if you work late on the West Coast, you got to deal with traffic, anything like that. You do got to come in a little bit later here, but happy to have you joining us here, Edward. Sergeant Pickles, Kraken 10th in the NHL by points percentage, and they just beat the 3rd place team 5-1. Heck yeah. I can agree with that. I can certainly agree with this from Jeremiah. Nothing beats beating the Leafs.
It's true. I mean, after that first period too, I just the Leafs definitely outplayed the Kraken, but they're gonna leaf at some point, right? And then they did.
Yeah,
it's nice.
It is really nice. Matt Murray'd. It was good. I feel bad for Matt Murray. The poor guy aged about 50 years in Ottawa there. He's starting to come back. Like life is
he's starting to de-age now as he leaves Ottawa. Yeah.
He looked really rough there for a while. All right, super chat coming in here from Duthin. Shout out for more power play power, as well as some amazing PK. Love in 2023. 2023 might be the year of the Kraken.
Yeah, so far certainly has been 3-0, looking great, looking convincing every single game. This is a nice year.
Let's get that kind of going, everybody. Let's get year of the Kraken going. I think that's something pretty cool. Tom, watching Shane skate around lifting the cup gave me chills. Let's give him a bigger one to lift. Absolutely, Tom.
Gave me chills too. That's why I had to go clip it immediately when I saw it. I'm like, hang on, guys.
Yeah. Where do you think we finish in the division before the break? From Coach Stewart. Let me pull up the standings here, kind of where they're at. I think probably a 3rd place finish seems about right. That's where they're at right now. I know you still got the games in hand on Los Angeles, and you're probably going to make up some of those here in this busy schedule Seattle has. But I still think 3rd place is probably where they're going to be sitting.
Yeah, I think so. 3rd place sounds about right. And they're not going to make up all the games in hand, I don't think. And so that'll, keep them back. But, that 3rd place is good. It's a solid spot.
I was going to say, when do the Kings stop playing hockey games? Like at some point.
I know they keep playing more and more games. Does
their season end like a week and a half earlier than everybody else or something? Like, I don't understand what's going on there. I'm sure that it all has something to do with like I'd have to see if they've played like an exorbitant home game stretch just because of like the 2 basketball teams and scheduling with that. But like I just don't get what's going on with that. Let's see, Edward. So we acquire a shooter like Tolvanen, get him in the lineup, and we start putting some pucks in nets. Interesting. Get ready. There you go. Bring back the Incredibles meme of the coincidence. I think not. Get that one going again too, as we're talking about old memes tonight. Daniel, I loved the first period, but that second period made me happier. Oh, absolutely. It was a fantastic period from the second period. It's the period of the Kraken. I'm just gonna start
Yeah,
labeling everything for the Kraken.
Everything of the Kraken.
Of the Kraken, yeah. I like that. Let's see. Sean, Kraken organization looking like a good fit for Tolvanen. Kudos to Ron, Francis, and company for bringing him to Seattle. Tolvanen just makes the Kraken lineup even deeper. He really does. And you know, just like we've talked about with Hackstall rotating the goalies, playing the hot hand there, he has the ability to kind of ride the hot hand with Donato, Sprong, Tolvanen, Geeky, like just kind of as guys are scoring, if they hit a little bit of a slump, get them out of the lineup for a night or two, maybe bring them back and get them going again.
You could never have too many good depth players. And the standard is just so high. You basically have to score almost every game in order to guarantee that you're going to stay in the lineup. And it's just this competition that drives all of them to be better.
Yeah. Andrew, is it a coincidence that the Leafs fans have the most annoying fans per J Fresh? No, I mean, that was voted on by everybody, and we know that they're the most annoying. CR Bud, Lars' reaction to scoring streak with just the neutral face emoji. Lars' reaction to the losing streak just with the neutral face emoji. That's what you need. That's why he's got the A on his chest. You need that kind of steady Eddie kind of guy in there.
Yep.
And that's Adam Larson for you. Let's see, CR Bud with another super chat down here. It's interesting how much opposing fans get irritated by losing to Seattle, still considering us a lesser team. I mean, I think they really, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of that kind of same thing that happened with Vegas. It's like, well, why are you getting to be successful so fast? I've had to sit like with Leafs fans, right? Like they had to sit for decades to get back to being a good team, and now they just get ousted every year in April.
Yeah, it does come with being a successful expansion team, and I think Kraken fans have got to get used to it if they're going to have more success. Because, I think some of the jealousy starts to bubble up. At least the Kraken had one season of pain,
yes,
which
that
helps
helps
a lot. Because Vegas coming right out the bat and going to a Stanley Cup final, that is ridiculous. I think that did deserve some scoring from other fan bases, but Kraken doing it right.
Let's see. CR Bud, what would happen if Wenny had a penalty shot?
He'd come up with something creative. Maybe he'd
does he do the whole like you make the move without the puck and you just let the puck just continue its momentum in?
Yeah, do like the Kucherov, just go in. But yep, that's what he does.
That's probably what you do. Let's see. TSN radio guys said Shane Wright was the best guy on the Canadian team tonight, playing with the goal with a ton of great defensive plays. Yeah, I mean, that's, he got some offense going. He got a couple goals there that were big time goals for Team Canada, whether it was to kick off scoring or big time ones like the one tonight. But really, his whole job at this World Juniors was go out there and shut down the best players the opposing team has. And he did that for this team all throughout the tournament.
It's not a glamorous role. Connor Bedard had the glamorous role of being able to just go out there and all offense everything, and I'm playing with Logan Stankoven. But Shane Wright did his job and did it well, and was still able to bust through when it mattered the most and provide that highlight reel goal.
All right, RJ. Whenever you're running any sort of organization in which you have to give out information, the best thing that you can have is a person on the inside of a different organization to feed you information that you can then give out to your people, right? And we just got that in the super chat here from Jules. Someone on the inside with the Kings there, letting us know that the Kings actually get first pick for home games. They make the Clippers and rarely make the Lakers play earlier than them. It's Kings home first. So interesting. I guess it makes sense because hockey season starts before basketball season. So that might have something to do with it there. But thank you very much, Jules, for the super chat and for that information, because that is something that I did not know.
Yeah, love that insight for Jules there. And in a super chat, even better.
I know.
Thank you so much, Jules.
Definitely. DJ Singletone, 92.62% chance to make the playoffs according to Money Puck. I know on Discord people were thrown out there all the different models and what the Kraken's percentage was, and the kind of the average out. Somebody averaged it out. I'm forgetting who did it on Discord. I apologize. Was basically about 75%. On the chance of the Kraken making the playoffs based on all the different models out there. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, no, I'll
Let's
take
see.
that.
Yeah. Oh boy, Logan Thompson is also an all-star. I know. Shoe shine. That is the one upsetting thing. Oh.
Well, hey, I mean, this just gives Maddie a chance to show him up and score on him in front of everybody watching. Because no one's staying up. No one on the East Coast is staying up late for that Kraken Golden Knights game. That's always going to be a great game of hockey, but no one cares. Like, this is the chance where people are going to be watching.
There's a small problem with that, and that they're both going to be teammates, RJ.
Oh, what am I?
So if Maddie does start scoring on Logan Thompson, it might do a lot more harm to Maddie than it does to Logan Thompson.
Oh, man. Okay, good point there, Dylan.
It's all right. It's all right. Is that when you say you go and you score a bunch of goals at all these beer league games? Is that how you do it, RJ?
That would be brilliant. No, maybe Maddie can just play a little softer on defense or something. He always has the excuse it's an all-star game. Nobody plays defense.
Exactly.
And let Thompson see some more high quality shots.
Yep. Let's see. Still a little ways out from trade deadline, but do we make any final moves? So that's going to be, Coach Stewart, that's going to be more of a deep dive thing. And we're going to announce a deep dive thing we're going to be doing for the trade deadline, like in the lead up to the trade deadline very soon. So expect a lot of good trade deadline stuff in the near future.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Kraken tonight showed Bedard isn't ready to face NHL defensemen. Ooh, interesting take. I like that take. I'm so like far deep trying to finish up the Bedard video. I was waiting for the World Juniors to end. I really flip-flop back and forth on that one. I really do, on how ready he is for the NHL. Rock Todd, do you give Jones a break versus Ottawa? I think you could go, if you wanted to, one more game with Jones, and then you got to give him a rest, and you probably have him do the second half of the back-to-back early next week.
Yeah, agreed. I think he can go one more, but certainly Grubauer has to play, one of those back-to-back games.
Yeah. So yeah, apparently Dangle and Wiley have both been on the Kraken, or Wild have both been on the Kraken all this year. Apparently Dangle also thinks we're messing up Shane's development, according to Andy.
No Kraken fans have thought that all season.
I was gonna say, we're giving him the chance to score goals at like 7 different levels of hockey in like a 4-month stretch. I don't know how anybody could say there's an issue with that. Kraken love a second period long change and a road trip. Who are we to question? It is crazy, Rebecca. Like, these are not things that teams are supposed to be good with.
No, it's not. And I'm trying to remember, because I think Hackstall was asked about that long change in the second period, and I don't remember what he said. I don't think he would give away anything, because that's probably why I don't remember what he said. But I got to go back and look at that.
Yeah. All right, here we go from Ty. For this year's ECH skills competition, you need to replicate some of the signature stuff we're seeing from the boys. Tolvanen top corner one-timers. That one I might actually I could maybe hang with you for that. Yeah. Can you Spronger, the Berkey snipe? Let's go. That would be fun.
I like that. We come up with some Adam Larson skills to replicate as well, I'm sure. Put us in net.
Just who could keep the straightest face as other people are like,
yes,
reading off a bunch of jokes or something. That's the Adam Larson challenge.
That'll be a good one.
Oh, those are good suggestions, Ty, for sure. Brian with the super chat coming in here. See, another benefit of these East Coast games. All our East Coast people get to hang out with us through the whole post game. We're about to have 3 goalies. That's not happening, right? Too much money owned to move. Gruby, Driegs, Jones. Tough choices ahead. Like the stream. So there we go. Get the first like the stream of the night. Sean, a little bit higher up, talking about the same thing there. Yeah, I mean, that time is coming. For the moment, the Kraken do have an open roster spot, so you could technically have 3 goaltenders. I don't think that would be smart to do, But
No. And well, I mean, the whole idea is after the trade deadline, then you don't have the roster size limit and you should
yeah,
be fine. All depends on when Drieger comes back. And I just don't think there's a whole lot of incentive to have him come back before the trade deadline and have to force a
yeah,
roster issue. I understand there's the issue of like, you have to have him back when he's healthy and all of that.
right.
But we've seen
But
teams
I was
deal
gonna
with
say,
that for
but
convenience.
do you? But do
Yeah.
you? So, let's see. Just going back up here a little bit. With how good Jones has been playing and Drieger starting to put in some work with coaches, though still a ways off. Let's hear some wild speculation about the goalie situation from Hockey Fork. So there you go. I do think that yes, it'll be a post trade deadline type of situation, which realistically works with Drieger's timetable anyway. Like even if he's feeling good and everything, an ACL injury for a goaltender where pushing off, going side to side is such a big deal. To do that in a game situation where your adrenaline's running and it gives you that extra little bit of something, you know what I mean? It does scare me, especially considering that's how it happened the first time.
Right. Oh, Dylan, that's not wild speculation. Come on. You got to give something wilder than that. Here,
I
I'll go with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me revise what I just said. Okay, Chris
Okay.
Drieger, when he has game adrenaline coursing through his body, he's like the mother who can lift, a semi truck off of the baby to rescue the baby because he's got that kind of superhuman special something in him, right? With the adrenaline and all the hormones going, and so I don't want to throw him into one of those situations too soon because I don't know that the doctors, you know what I mean, like everything, were prepared for him to be doing that so fast after repairing the ligament.
Okay, that's pretty good. I was just gonna go with maybe they could waive him and no one would pick him up because he's got another year left on his contract. All right, that one ups me there. Good job, Dylan. I think we spiked by like four or five viewers as you were saying all that. So good job.
Here we go. Let's see. To Leafs fans' credit, I heard a lot of applause when Susie got up from taking the puck to the face. You're right. They did applaud Susie there, and that was a scary situation. Just trying to see, kind of how much damage that did because pucks to the face are always sketchy, RJ.
Yeah, especially one deflected ones like that through the neutral zone
Mhm.
where it's still a pretty hard puck coming at you and you have no time to react to it.
Those are the times I really worry about, all those little bones in there. That's the
Ugh.
scary stuff there. Um, let's see. Ty, got to point out Shaner's goal tonight. Such a high skill move. Drags the D man to take the angle, then absolutely shelves it off the backhand. Papa Evs will be proud of that backy.
Oh, for
Absolutely.
sure.
And hey, if you were joining us for the last Prospect Live chat or you watched the replay over on Patreon, Shane Wright at this World Juniors, Dragon D Man, that's kind of been his like thing. He's really been
Yep.
into that, and that's something that very much encourages me for the NHL level, and something that the Kraken can maybe use. Let's see. Bo Horvat trade to the Kraken. Ooh, that's something to definitely consider, and we'll talk about later on, closer to the trade deadline. Aaron, uh, some love for the Larson challenge there. Uh, Let's see. Some more Horvat talk there. Got my Maddie for Calder hoodie today, and happy Maddie got a point from Patrick there. Coincidence? I think not. Just gonna
Yep.
throw that one back out there. See, that's the only thing missing from this. I need StreamYard to let me put in memes in the chat.
Hey, we
I
can
wouldn't
load up some memes ahead of time.
I wouldn't abuse that power at all.
Yeah, it might be a little too meme heavy, but here I'm going to abuse the power because I realize I actually have the ability to do this with the Maddie for
Yes.
Calder shirt and put it up here on the overlay with the Maddie for Calder. Maddie for All Star has already been accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie for Calder, still got to build that campaign, get those shirts going.
Yep.
If you don't have it already, I mean, just look at this thing.
Yeah.
We plugged the merch, Dylan. There we go.
There we go. We did it, everybody. Ty pointing out the Ebbs backhand needs to be in the skills showcase. Lol, good luck, boys. Ha ha ha. No, there's only a couple things I'm really, really good at, but one of which is my backhand.
There you go. Yeah, I think you do have a good backhand.
I think probably my best skill also because I'm really good at passing as well. Like that's the other one good thing I'm good at. But my backhand saucer passes, I would put that up against anybody, NHL or not. I think mines are legit that good, especially on ice.
That's a very useful skill that you find yourself in position to use all the time in the game of hockey.
Well, last time I was doing like scrimmage hockey stuff, it was like 5-6 years ago now, but I was put on the left side a lot, like left winger as a lefty, and it wasn't very useful in those situations. But anytime I found myself able to use it, I was always able to generate something with it.
See,
People
most guys, you want
very
to put them on
surprised.
their offsides so they can do one timers and shoot the puck and
Nope.
cut to the middle. You put you on your offside so you can do backhand saucer passes.
I need to be able to do my Wenberg impersonation, yeah. And I just
There you
can't on the
go.
left side. All right, got to get some Matty bag skate stuff too. No, that one we could draw the line there, I think.
Yep.
Don't want to have a heart attack or anything. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for this post game live. I think that's a nice, fun, and a silly place we can go ahead and end it. RJ, we are getting so close to my trip up there and our ability to do these live with everybody at Queen Anne Beer Hall.
Yes, I am. I am looking forward to that. It's going to be so exciting. Just chatted with some people from the beer hall today, kind of outlining our plans and everything we're going to
Ooh.
do. So just really looking forward to it. They're looking forward to it. They're excited to see the ECH community show up in force and have this great couple of events there while the both of us are up here.
That's right. So remember, end of this road trip. It's still a long road trip, but end of this road trip is the first game of that. The watch along for that Chicago game, followed by the post game live. So, yeah, it's the 14th and the 16th.
Yep,
Yeah,
14th
those
and
are
the
the dates.
16th. So Chicago and Tampa are the
Yep.
two games.
Yep, and that Chicago game, it'll be a watch party and the post game live. And then for that game on the 16th against Tampa, it's a home game. We'll be at the arena covering the game. And then as soon as we're done with all the responsibilities there, we'll book it over to Queen Anne Beer Hall and do the post game live there. It should be a heck of a time. Really looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing everybody in person that I can. Definitely. And just looking forward to see Queen Anne Beer Hall in person too. I still haven't seen it.
I
I've
know, you
seen the
got to go
outside.
there.
I know.
And guess what I just uploaded midstream? Boom, with the
Yay!
new year.
It's got the right year on it, everybody. Let's go.
Yes, absolutely. The watch party and the live post game on the 14th at Queen Anne Beer Hall. And then look at that. Also 2023, the
Yep.
live post game for the Tampa game. So, yep, got
Go,
those two
RJ.
great events coming up.
Becoming a Canva master. Almost as
I
good
can't
as
graphic design myself.
I was gonna say, almost as good as Excel. Getting there. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us for this one, for another Kraken win, another great game for Seattle here in this new year. It was a fantastic time. We'll see you all after the next one on Saturday. Should be a good one against Ottawa. Let's go. See you all next time, everybody.